Busy day for the Redskins. They have to be absolutely delighted, right?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, Jay Gruden said that last week he was talking to Nick Saban to just get information, double-check a couple things on some players. And he said that he didn't even want to ask him about Jonathan Allen because he didn't want to get his hopes up, and he thought there was no chance in the world that he was still going to be there. You hear teams say a lot of times, oh, we didn't expect that this guy was going to be here. But the Redskins legit did not expect that Allen, the top defensive end in the draft, was going to slide all the way down to 17. And so when he was there, Gruden said that this was something that they had to do. It was a no-brainer, and there wasn't really much debate in the room. They were just like, okay, yep, we got to take this kid.
Mike, hypothetically, say Bruce Allen and company, say that they did 100 mini mock drafts in Ashburn before the actual draft took place. How many of them out of 100 do you think had Jonathan Allen tumbling to them at 17?
None of them.
Zero.
Said never in a million years did we expect that he was going to be there for us still. And so that's the thing that, you see all these mock drafts, you hear all these reports that, oh, I'm hearing that this team's going to do this when it's even a couple of days. I really don't. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the draft. It's fun to try to predict and everything like that, but you just really don't know until everybody's on the clock and making moves with how things are going to play out.
Yeah, well, this is the first time ever in the history of the NFL draft that 3 teams traded up to get quarterbacks. So, I mean, you're right. You're right. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what these teams are really thinking behind closed doors. You just have no idea.
Yep, and lots of times it's a last-minute thing. Like even last year, the Redskins went into the draft expecting defensive line first priority, center second priority, and then last second, Scott McCloughan went with Josh Doxson. So it's just you go in there with the plan, and then you basically just have a bunch of contingency plans and then ball up your paper and just go with who's there.
Well, with it being a surprise, did they do their due diligence in checking Jonathan Allen out and his injuries?
Yes, they did. They at the combine, everybody that's there goes through these medical evaluations. Every team has their doctors and their trainers evaluating them. The Redskins also talked to James Andrews, who's Alabama's team doctor, as well as it seems like every big name person's doctor. And he felt good about it. Allen himself said that he was cleared medically by every team that he met with. And so they did not feel like at all that this was going to be something with those shoulders that was going to bother him. He said that it didn't bother him at all last year. The report was that it was something, this tendinitis, arthritis, was something that's going to bother him down the road. But the Redskins feel like it's not something that's going to keep him from having a productive NFL career.
Any idea, Mike, of who they were targeting there at 17? If they thought Jonathan Allen wouldn't be around, was there another player or two that they really wanted? Were they always going defense?
They knew it was going to be a long shot, but if Christian McCaffrey had slid down to 17, I'm told that was the one back they would have taken. They really liked Adoree Jackson, the cornerback from USC, and he ended up going one pick later. A lot of projections had him later in the first round, down in the 20 range, but I know the Redskins really, really liked him, and they thought that, if they're at 17 and he was there, they would take him. But when Jonathan Allen was sitting right there, they just knew, okay, look, we got to take this kid right here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be an impact player from day one. He's just a stud. He's got a crazy motor. He's got a nose for the ball. I think he instantly makes their defense better. But they obviously have other holes to fill. So you mentioned that they liked Adoree Jackson, the corner out of Southern Cal. Is that a position that you think that they may go, early part of the draft or earlier part of the draft, second or third round?
We'll see. Kind of see. Just all depends on how the board shakes out. They have multiple needs. Inside linebacker, probably would like to add another edge rusher. Possibly, if they're in the third round, and say Pittsburgh's Peterman, that's probably a quarterback that they would consider maybe. Otherwise, they'll try to address, it would be really interesting. Dalvin Cook is still out there.
Yep.
What happens if he slides down to where they are in the second round? Do they pull the trigger on a really talented running back right there? They just, they have multiple needs, and they'll go with their board. And the good thing for them is it's really deep defensively, and they have an opportunity to check off a lot of boxes in multiple rounds.
What did you make of the report in the middle of the first early part of the first round there by Ian Rappaport, but suddenly that the Browns were like in a real draft consideration deal for Kirk Cousins? It kind of threw people for a second. Didn't make any sense. I know you were there, right? And you and a lot of the people there that cover the Redskins were saying there didn't seem to be much validity to that. Nothing had changed on the Redskins front.
There's zero validity to it. The Redskins, Cousins camp, everybody was pretty firm throughout the week, and even the night before and the day of that. There was no rumble. There was no plans on Washington's part to trade Kirk Cousins, and they definitely were not going to just move up to 12 from 17. And Jay Gruden, when we asked him last night, when the report came out, it checked with somebody, and they were like, not at all. Jay Gruden, when we asked him about it, he said there were 0 phone calls